You guys good on? Thank you first off to LIU 18 and Net Driven for helping make this year's Squirrel Girls Tech Camp and NEPA BlogCon successful. Valerie Deneen is a digital publisher, social media consultant, and professional crafter. She is an active mom of 2 who loves to spend time with her family. Valerie appears regularly on television to demonstrate kid-friendly crafts and activities and regularly produces original video content using only her iPhone, amassing nearly 1 million views on YouTube. Welcome YouTuber Valerie Deneen to talk about the 3 biggest excuses for not producing video content and how to overcome them.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Valerie Deneen, and you can find me on innerchildfun.com where I share crafts for kids or the kid in you. Before I begin, I want to start by sharing my contact information because I attended Northeast Pennsylvania BlogCon last year, and besides all of the learning sessions and information that was shared, I also got the opportunity to network and form relationships and meet new friends and eat lots of Panera cookies. So you can find me at innerchildfun.com, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at innerchildfun is my username there, or you can email me, valerie@innerchildfun.com. A few years ago, I attended a conference in New York where we gathered around during in-between sessions to talk about, with some of my friends, just to talk about the future of blogging. And we started brainstorming some ways in which our blogs could be set apart from other blogs. And this was no easy task. But we were talking about where blogging was heading, what was going on, where things were going, and we started to brainstorm some different ideas. And it was during this time that my friend Maria said to me, Valerie, your blog is all about crafts and activities, it's very visual, it would probably lend really well to video. And I said, yeah, Maria, you're right, but I am extremely lazy. And if I perceive something as taking up huge amounts of time or lots of money, it's not going to happen. And I know I'm not alone in that because several other of my friends agreed and said, yeah, I'm not into video. It's just too time consuming. I don't have one more thing to add to the list. But she said, Valerie, if you don't do video, you're going to be left behind. And I knew at that moment that video had to become a priority in my blog and in my business. So today I'm going to talk about the 3 big obstacles to creating video. And I can come up with about 100 different excuses to not produce video because I put the pro in procrastinate. So I am the prime example of somebody who doesn't want to do video, but I did anyway. And most of these excuses fall into 3 categories. The first one is camera shyness. This is a huge one for a lot of people. Even very outgoing bloggers can be really timid on camera. As Tim said earlier, as soon as you see that red blinking light, it can be really intimidating. So we'll talk about some ways to overcome that. If you're short on time, bloggers are some of the busiest people I know because we're constantly juggling all these different social media networks and trying to navigate different ways to learn about them. Or if you're low on budget, and certainly if you're just starting off with video or your blog or business is just starting, video can be one of the great ways to enhance your business, but if you're low on funds, it can seem like a big hurdle. So we'll talk about all these different ways to overcome them so that you too can make videos and benefit from all the benefits that come along with that. If you're camera shy, a lot of people think that in order to do videos successfully, you have to show your face on camera. The truth is, there is a long list of ways in which you can make video without ever showing your face on camera. I love these ways. So we'll talk about a couple of them, but for crafting and activity blogs, or if you have a food blog, recipes, tabletop or cooktop videos are ideal for that. You're showing your hands, maybe some activities that you're actually actively doing. People like to see that. And you could do your own voiceovers for those videos as well. So it kind of gives the appearance that you're still doing your video, you're still very much active and behind the camera, but not necessarily showing your face. Desktop screencasting is another way. You can make a keynote presentation like I did for today and just record your voice and you're going through them on your slides on your computer, have that as a video, and upload that to your YouTube channel. Animations is also really popular. You can do stop motion animations. There's all kinds of animation software out there. Some of it is free, especially for trials. That's a great way to make a video. Photo slideshows are also really great, especially if you're short on time. All you do is take your photos, put them in a slideshow, and upload that. And Facebook in particular really likes video, so if you have a collection of photos, it might not get the same amount of views as it would if you put them into a slideshow and upload that as a video. And this last one isn't necessarily a faceless video option, but it still kind of limits the amount of time that you're on camera, and that's to have a pre-recorded intro and outro. And I tend to keep them rather generic just because I'm short on time, so I'll use that same footage for my intro as I do it in every video. It's almost always close to the same, so I try to keep it generic. I just introduce myself, say what I do, and then I get into my project, and it's usually a tabletop or cooktop view from there, or one of these other faceless video options, but you can still hear my voice in the video, and the outro as well. All right, so some other tips that I learned from being camera shy. One of my friends likes to do video almost every day, and she said the best option was to not think like you are locked into just one take on camera. But if you're doing live video, this is not an option, but if you're doing pre-recorded, it is. You can take at least 3. I do at least 3 different takes, even if I think I've got it right the very first time. If I do it 2 or 3 times, many times I'll like the second or third one better. That's what I use as my upload. You can produce content in batches, and this is a time saver, number 1, because you already have the equipment out. But if you're camera shy, you're already in that mode of being in front of the camera, and once you're in that mode, it's a little easier if you're not used to being behind the camera. Focus on sound quality. This is really interesting because in user studies, they've found that users will tolerate low lighting situations, maybe your video quality is a little blurry, but they're a lot less likely to tolerate low sound quality. So if your video sounds bad, it's more likely that they're going to skip it and go on to the next video. But if you sound good, you're less likely to concentrate on how you look and how you are in front of the camera. It takes a little bit of that pressure off. And lastly, to practice. Are any of you familiar with Toastmasters International? Have you done? Great, that's perfect. I'm a member as well of the Lehigh Valley Toastmasters. This is one of the best ways to work on not just public speaking, but leadership skills as well. They have a series of manuals that you work on for different projects. There's usually 10 projects per manual. And by the time you work through the whole system, you're usually a pretty accomplished speaker. What I like about Toastmasters is the way the meetings are set up. You meet in groups usually every other week. And the beginning of the meeting, they will have their prepared speech segment. And then they will have what they call table topics, which is impromptu speeches. You don't know the topic of your speech until you get to the front of the room, and you deliver a 1 to 2 minute speech on pumpkins. That was my topic last week, was pumpkins. So whatever it is, they give you a topic, and you do that. But at the very end, they have someone to evaluate so you have one person assigned to you to evaluate your prepared speech, and then somebody else will give feedback on table topics, and they give awards. There's a lot of very constructive feedback that goes on, and it's very supportive as well. This is great for just public speaking, if you're doing television interviews, if you're doing video, anything in that field, it's great to know how to do. Now let's talk about if you're short on time, because I know a lot of people think video can take a lot of time to produce. If you're short on time, you can record and edit and upload all of your videos on a smartphone. And this is something I do all the time. It's how I built up virtually my entire YouTube channel was built on my smartphone. And once I realized that I could do all of those things on there, I really didn't have an excuse. My camera, I always say the best camera is the one that you have on you, and my smartphone is almost always on me. So I really didn't have an excuse to not produce video then. You can schedule a regular time. And my daughter's a good example of this. She's 12, and over Christmas break one time, she made 12 videos for my YouTube channel, and then every month she would make one more. So she had 2 videos every month that were being produced and posted up on my YouTube channel just from a week break that she had over Christmas, and then every month she would make one more, additional one. But I think if you did, say, 2 or 3 videos every Tuesday or every Sunday, this is a great way to build up your video content. You can outsource editing. There is no reason why you have to be the one editing your own video. And if you're short on time, this is a great option. I've used this a couple of times, particularly when I work with different sponsors. But I would upload raw footage to Dropbox, and I assign an editor to do that, and he just goes and makes it all look pretty, and I'm not spending my time on editing. Hiring a camera person is also a great way to save on time, particularly if you are videotaping yourself. There were a couple of times where I tried to do it myself and then realized almost all of my footage was out of focus, and it's a very easy fix. If someone else is behind the camera, they can pick up on that. Or they can make sure that your sound quality is good too, but you're not going to be wasting time fiddling around and getting the right angles and all that if you have a camera person. And this could be a friend, it could be your spouse, anyone who can hit record, right? We turn on the camera, we hit record, they can do it. And again, your intro and outro, if they're pre-recorded, you're not having to make that content every time. You can just jump right into what your video is about and then add the intro and outro later on. Equipment. Okay, this is a big one too. And for saving money on equipment, and if you're short on budget in general. The 2 big pieces that I use are my smartphone, and I also use a tripod that has an extended arm, and I think the tripod was probably the most expensive piece of equipment I had used. You could also use, let's see, I have some fill lighting, but I didn't start with that. There's no reason to have fill lighting when you're first starting. Yeah, the 2 big pieces were the smartphone and the tripod with an extended arm. The quality sound. I know I talked about doing tabletop videos and those sorts of things. How I do the sound, though, is after I've recorded the video. So I'll do my video, and then I literally go into my closet, and I shut the door, and I use my closet as a sound recording studio, and it works so well. I get really high quality sound because the clothes in the closet act as a great sound barrier. So really budget friendly there. If you have a closet and an iPhone, you can get really good quality sound. A lot of people don't realize that, but I did just examples of, I have a lavalier mic as well, and I did not get as good quality sound with a lavalier in an open room as I did in the closet with my smartphone. To give you an idea. The lighting. The best place to record videos is outdoors in a shady spot. If that's not an option, like some of the winters that we get in Scranton, then your best place is by a really big window. And if that's not an option, just as long as there's as much natural light as possible, I try not to record too much in the evening. Also, you can use a big piece of foam board, those big like poster board things, as a reflector, and that works really, really well, as almost like a backup for fill lighting. And it also works, the foam boards also work well for backdrops if you're looking to save money on those. Okay, now what? So now you've overcome all these obstacles, you're producing video like mad. What do you do with all this content? And this is kind of my favorite part of this whole presentation. So first of all, we have blog posts. But this is where I take my video, I upload it to my YouTube channel. And do any of you use that If This Then That app? Okay. So I have a recipe in there. And what it does is when I upload a new video, it sends a message to my assistant that there's a new video on my YouTube channel. Actually, my assistant's here, Kim. She should have a round of applause, you guys. She works really hard. Thank you. And so Kim gets this message saying that there's a new YouTube video on my channel, and then she goes and transcribes that video into a blog post. And this is so great and so helpful for me. I save so much time, but she'll type up everything, and it's still my words, it's still very much my content that is going up, but just in a different format. And when I go ahead and make a blog post, of course, I'll embed the actual video in there as well. But for SEO purposes, search engines, they have such an easier time finding my website because of her transcriptions on my videos that way. For podcasts, you can extract video, or you can extract the audio from a video to make a podcast. It's an instant podcast. you can take screenshots of your video and edit them in PicMonkey to make nice little collages and things, and then you have your pin for Pinterest. These are all different ways that you can really like monetize your videos and create all these different pieces of content on one video. In other words, you do the work one time and you can have all these different pieces of content. So this is a huge time saver. Photos for Instagram, of course, you can take screenshots of your video that way, or you can upload little snippets of it too to Instagram, your actual video. One thing I had a lot of success with was creating a video series for my subscribers. I literally took 5 videos that had a very sort of common theme, like rainy day activities. I did one on summer camp fun things that you could do at home, and I offered a 5-part video series to people who are subscribing to my blog. And you can also take that same exact content. There's no reason why you can't sell it as a video course on your site as well. But you could also offer it as an incentive for people to join your mailing list. I had 5,000 people join my mailing list over one summer because I offered a 5-part video series. So it was something I was going to do anyway. What was interesting about this was you can create private playlists on your YouTube channel, and that's literally what I used as my email. So I would just send links to my own videos, which had ads, which the videos were to projects that we needed materials that you could find on Amazon. I used affiliate links on my Amazon there. And so people were joining my email list for the sake of getting links to my content, and then many times I was earning commission on the sales from those videos. And of course, video courses goes along with that as well. You can take snippets to do as finds or Facebook updates. And sometimes my assistant Kim will also do different Facebook updates and Twitter and Pinterest and all those things on Buffer. Buffer is a great tool to use for that. Do you guys have any questions? Okay. Well, I hope this inspired you to make your own video. Oh, sorry, do you have a question? Oh.
You said that you used, I forgot.
It's okay. I'm sure it'll come back to you. I'm here all day, so come see me. Yes?
I think where I get hung up is the editing. Do you have any advice for someone who's brand new at this that maybe an easy editing software? Is there anything out there that might be helpful to someone like me?
The easiest is iMovie.
iMovie?
Yeah, by far. It's really simple and straightforward. And for a while there, they made it really complicated, and it was kind of hard to navigate, but now they've gone back to making it really easy and simple. Yeah, I would suggest you start there. Okay. Oh, I can't hear. Sorry. Pins. Yes. Would I recommend Pinterest over YouTube? Sorry. Oh. Sure. Sure. Yes. Well, YouTube is where my priority is, definitely. It's a better place to put them, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's all great ways to use the same content. And like I said, you do the work one time and find multiple ways to use that. Yeah. Anything else? All right. Well, I hope this inspired you to make your videos. Do it. Don't be left behind, okay? Do it. All right. Thank you all so much.